Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Avery, and today I'm going to be doing the My Life in Books tag. I was actually tagged a while ago, and I'm sorry I haven't done it yet, by the lovely Hannah from Being the Bookologist, so thank you so much, Hannah, for tagging me in this video. I couldn't really find right off the bat the creator of this tag, but if I do find it while I'm editing this video, I will leave it linked down below, and I will link Hannah's channel down below as well. Y'all should totally go check out her channel. I love her videos so much. So this tag has 8 prompts to it, so let's get started. The first prompt is to find a book for each of your initials. My initials are ASA, and for the first A, I have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This is the copy of Alice in Wonderland that I grew up reading, and I absolutely adore this world and this book. I could not get enough of it. For my middle name that starts with S, I have, of course, Salt to the Sea by Rita Sepetys. If y'all didn't know, this is one of my favorite books of all time, if not the favorite book of all time. But this is a historical fiction book, YA historical fiction book that is just one of my favorites. It is like beautiful. It touches like my soul every time I read it. The audiobook is fantastic as well if you're into that. I know some people aren't. It is told from 4 perspectives from 4 teenagers during World War II, mostly centered around Poland and Germany, and it follows these 4 teenagers as they all meet together on the Wilhelm Gustloff, which is the ship known in history as the most human casualties known to date. So we kind of already know what's going to happen in the book. It is just beautiful and I love it so much. And for my last name, which also starts with an A, I have Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. So I actually haven't read this book yet, but I really want to, because these books are some people's like favorite books of all time and I would love to just know more about the story. I have only watched the Netflix TV show Anne with an E, so I only know that, but I fell in love with that TV show, so I had to pick up this book, but I haven't read yet, and I really want to. And look how cute this book is that I found at Half Price Books. She is adorable. The second prompt is to count your age across your bookshelves. So I am 19 years old, so let's get counting. I'm actually gonna count from this one down here, since y'all can see this one mainly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So the book that was the 19th book was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets by J.K. Rowling, the illustrated edition, with illustrations by Jim Kay. And I have, again, yet to read this book. Well, no, I've read the book, I just haven't read this physical one. I haven't read the illustrated edition, so I need to get on that because I need to look at all the beautiful artwork. The third prompt is to pick a book that is set in your city. So I actually live in Houston, Texas, and there are not really any books set in Houston, Texas, to believe it or not, or books that I have read or have an interest in reading. There is not even a book set in my college town, but I know of a book set close to my college town. My college town is very much close to Austin, Texas, and I know that Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi is set in Austin, Texas, and the main character female is actually going to the University of Texas, which is very much close to my college, so that's about as close as I could get. I haven't read this book, obviously I don't even have it, but I really want to, and I've heard some mixed reviews, but I really want to read it because it is set in Texas. All I know about this book is that 2 characters meet at a restaurant or a coffee shop or something like that. They exchange phone numbers and they kind of develop a relationship through text messages. Prompt number 4 is to pick a book that has a destination you would love to travel to. I mean, of course we have this book. I would love to go into that book, you know what I mean? If you've read it, you know where I want to go. But if we're being realistic here, I would love to go to Paris. I mean, why not? And half of this book is actually set in Paris, half of it is, I believe, set in New York City, which I would also love to go to, so double plus there. But this is Isla and the Happily Ever After, which is actually, like, probably my favorite out of the Anna and the French Kiss trilogy, companion series, whatever. This is really the only one that I really like. I don't really even remember what happens in the other 2 books, but this one I believe is fantastic, and I just listened to this audiobook over and over and over again, and I love learning about Paris and New York in this book. It's fantastic. Prompt number 5 is to pick a book that's your favorite color. Well, my favorite color is yellow, so I had to pick the brightest yellow book that I could find, and that is Forever in Blue by Anne Brashers. This is the last book in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, which I don't remember what happens in these books. I read them mostly 5th grade or middle school. That was the main time that I read them. I completely binged them and then binged the movies. But yeah, I don't really remember what this book series is about. I knew that I loved it when I was younger, but I don't know how I'd feel about it now. Maybe later on in the next couple months, years, I might want to reread them. So prompt number 6 is, what book do you have the fondest memories of? For this one, I'm going to have to go with Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. I grew up with this book. My parents read it to me. I read it continuously. If you didn't know, this book is just a collection of poems, poetry, stories, along with artworks all done by Shel Silverstein himself, and I absolutely loved this book growing up, so I definitely have the most fondest memories reading this one. Prompt number 7 is to pick a book that you had a lot of difficulty reading, and for this one, I am going to have to go with Allegiant by Veronica Roth. This book was a hunky doozy. I didn't really enjoy myself reading this book. It took me a while to even get into it because it was such a long time that I read Divergent, so I wasn't really in the mood to read Allegiant, but I knew that I wanted to know what happened. I actually only read about 60 pages of this book before I kind of got sick of it and put it off for a couple of days, but then I ended up getting spoiled by one of my friends by what happens in the book, and I thought it was so stupid that Veronica Roth would do that to us, so I didn't even finish it. I've never finished this book before. There you go, I haven't. DNF'd it. One of the few books that I have DNF'd and will never ever pick up again. And prompt number 8, the final prompt, is what book on your TBR will you feel the most accomplished after finishing it? And I'm gonna have to give this one to Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I purchased this book a heck of a long time ago when Sasha Alsberg from A Book Utopia was reading it for the first time and like found enlightenment through this book. This is like the book she talks about so much on her channel, and so I knew that I had to pick it up. When she also started talking about Outlander, I started the TV show, and so I also had to pick up the book because I couldn't just watch the TV show, you know what I mean? But yeah, this book is super duper duper mega big. Like, look at it compared to my face, like it's huge. And I have never ever been able to get through it. I've read maybe a chapter and like stopped because look how intimidating it is. So I will feel like so proud of myself when I read this book because I've had it for so long and it is so big. So there you have it. That was the My Life in Books tag. Thank you so much, Hannah, for tagging me in this video. It was a blast to make. I also wanted to tag 2 people, and I will link their channels down below as well. I tag Ashley from Ash Heart Books and Stacy from Stacy's Bookish Probs. I hope y'all do this tag. Hopefully I haven't done it yet. Hopefully. Also, let me know down below if you agree or disagree with any of my answers to any of these questions, or let me know your answers to these questions. And if I didn't tag you, feel free to do this video anyway. I absolutely loved it, and I know that y'all will as well. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all soon with a new video. Bye.